Why can a person bring up charisma in just seconds? How is it that one figure, without dramatic gestures, without long dialogues, without even imposing certain expressions, is able to attract the attention of thousands of pairs of eyes? And even more mysteriously, how is it that Korean journalists and TV stations, who are daily treated to visuals of top celebrities, are still surprised every time BTS's Suga appears on the screen? This question was echoed again when one of the national TV stations in Korea released a short clip featuring Suga for no more than 3 seconds, footage that was supposed to be ordinary, but in a way that was difficult to explain actually sparked a stir. What exactly happened? Why can Suga appear for a while and immediately make the public speechless, cameras glued, until media analysts feel the need to review him? This phenomenon is not the first time it has happened, and it seems that for the Korean media, this is a riddle that has never found an answer. Even some TV producers who have been in broadcasting for decades are beginning to question, does Suga really have a certain pattern, a natural charm, or something else, something that he himself is not aware of, that makes his charisma explode without warning? To understand this, we need to retrace the various broadcast moments, camera interactions, unexpected situations, to spontaneous expressions that always manage to elicit a great response from the public. Starting from the broadcast room, concert stage, to behind-the-scenes footage leaked to the public. And from all that, one common thread emerges: Suga's charisma is not being created, it is emerging on its own. But what does it mean to show up alone? Why was he able to come so quickly, without preparation, without dramatic gestures? Is this just a vibe? Or are there psychological, visual, and broadcast technical factors that play a role in creating the effect? This is what has been at the center of Korean media attention in recent months, and report after report shows that this phenomenon is more than just fandom hype. Suga is not only a global idol, but also a visual anomaly in the broadcast world. And Korean TV stations consider this a phenomenon worthy of study. Before we go any further into the intensive analysis that the Korean media has carried out, let's start from where the phenomenon occurs most frequently: the cameras. TV cameras, with the latest technology, are usually sensitive enough to capture small changes, flashes of light, micro-movements of the face, even changes in the intensity of the gaze. But the camera crews of several variety and music broadcast programs admitted that there was something odd every time Suga entered the frame. They describe it like a switch. One moment Suga seems relaxed, not trying to appear. In the next second, without any major movements, his face turned into something hard to define, not completely serious, not completely cold, but it had an aura that felt solid, heavy, and mysterious. Some cameramen call it the magnet light, a stage light that for some reason always seems more focused when it hits Suga's facial contours. While technically it's just a visual perspective and not a real light phenomenon, the term indicates how the charisma effect feels to the person watching it live through a broadcast monitor. There was another moment that even the TV crew wondered, why does Suga look dominant even when he is in the corner of the frame? In the world of broadcast production, the subject who is in the corner is not the center of attention. But some producers say that the viewer's eyes tend to be directly fixed on him, even if only half of his face is visible or the camera is not focusing on him. Is this a coincidence? Is it purely psychological perception because he is a member of BTS? Or is there a certain visual factor that makes his face easy to capture on camera? This question was the subject of serious discussion in several internal forums of Korean TV stations. When TV stations analyzed reruns of some broadcasts featuring Suga, they found patterns that did not appear on other idols. This is not about purely physical qualities, not about standard good looks, but rather about the regularity of visual behavior. First, Suga has a habit of appearing without much of an opening move. He does not make big poses, does not wave, does not give dramatic gestures that idols usually use when entering the frame. But it is precisely this calmness that creates contrast. When other idols try to grab attention with cheerful gestures, high energy, or spontaneous poses, Suga instead comes up with silence. The silence creates the effect of time stop. Some Korean media analysts describe it as a moment when the frame noticeably slows down. Not because of the technicality of the broadcast, But because of the different dynamics of Suga's body from his surroundings, this calmness not only makes him look more stable, but also creates a sense of curiosity. What is he thinking about? Why is he silent? What will he do after this? The viewer feels as if something is being prepared, despite the fact that he is just standing still, and from here comes a dramatic attraction that is often the subject of media talk. Producers of music programs and talk shows in Korea have explained that Suga's charisma doesn't seem to need warming up. Usually celebrities have to adjust to the lighting, camera position, or mood of the event before it looks optimal. But Suga, somehow, was in sync as soon as he entered the broadcast room. It was as if he already knew which camera was on, one of the senior producers said in an off-record interview. There is no guidance. The question arises, how can he read space so quickly? The TV team is trying to understand whether this is a matter of stage experience. But that theory was soon debunked, because even in casual interactions, such as videos in rehearsal rooms, studio vlogs, or fansite footage, the same effect still appears. On several occasions, TV producers claimed they were forced to redo footage just to verify they weren't exaggerating. But the result is always the same, that charisma appears suddenly, in less than a second, and the camera cannot avoid it. Korean media also highlighted Suga's famously subtle expression transformation, too subtle, even. There are no major changes in the jaw, eyes, or mouth. But that micro-gesture change was enough to change the entire atmosphere. The previously gentle gaze of the eyes suddenly became sharp. His small smile was suddenly like storing a secret code. The eyebrows are slightly raised, but the dramatic effect feels great. This is the reason many TV editors end up using the term charisma seconds. They say that change is too fast to be felt but too strong to be ignored. This transition also makes Suga's every appearance feel unexpected. In the world of broadcasting, sudden changes are a huge asset. It creates viral potential, attracts viewers, and makes it difficult for them to switch channels. And Suga, despite not trying, gave it all away with ease. Here's the part that makes this phenomenon even more unique. The Korean media is not just praising. They're confused. They want to understand, want to look for scientific patterns, want to find answers. Some theories that they had proposed include changes in micro-expressions on Suga's face are faster than the average person. The structure of his face reflects light in a stable way, so the camera easily captures it. His calm personality creates a strong contrast in the context of energetic South Korean broadcasts. Suga has body control that he is not aware of, so he always looks ready to perform even when he is not in the mood to perform. There is a psychological factor in the audience. Its calmness makes people expect something that will happen, but all these theories lead to one big question. If the phenomenon can be explained, why can't any other idol have a similar effect? And this answer, which has not satisfied anyone yet, has made the Korean media even more curious. Suga is not only charismatic when performing. He can ignite that aura even when not in a formal situation. Korean TV stations often discuss the following moments when he sat casually in the back seat of the stage, just tie his hair, as he walked slowly down the hallway of the studio, when he had a short conversation with the staff, with a small smile. When the camera does not turn on but he unknowingly gives an expression that immediately goes viral. On some occasions, even footage recorded by internal staff, which was not intended for the public, managed to attract millions of viewers once leaked on television or online platforms, and there is no logical explanation why the camera liked it so much. Suga never overdid it. He does not try to seduce the camera, does not try to appear too friendly, and never forces charm. But precisely his unwillingness to maximize himself makes his charisma even stronger. The Korean media called it an untamed charisma, something that cannot be controlled even by its owner. And because it is unpredictable, the audience is always waiting for the moment when the charisma appears again. Even some TV shows claim to deliberately keep certain moments from being edited, because Suga's spontaneous seconds often create an explosion of response from the audience. A small survey conducted by several TV platforms in Korea showed interesting results. Viewers tend to stop scrolling when they see Suga. Even those who are not ARMY though claimed to feel a strange attraction when they saw Suga in the frame.